is, of course, time to dive into the NFL. And before we dive into week 7, we got some housekeeping to do in week 6. And, before we get into our thoughts, we knew it was going to come. It was just a matter of who and when. But we have our first casualty in the head coaching market. And look, 99% of the time in real life, you never want to celebrate anyone getting fired. But look, we're talking about NFL head coaches here. Still getting paid till 2029 is Brian Callahan. So not terribly sad for him. But yeah, Brian Callahan fired from the Tennessee Titans. And not a huge surprise there. The Titans, I believe this is now the 3rd or 4th year in a row where a rookie quarterback has gotten his coach fired. That might be a little tongue in cheek, but the last 4 years, the number 1 overall pick, their coach has been fired mid-season. That trend continues. Tennessee Titans, just not a very good football team. Brian Callahan, no longer the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. I didn't see who the interim was. I know Bill Callahan was on that staff. I can't imagine Bill Callahan. I believe it's Mike McCoy. Now that I think I heard someone say Mike McCoy, the former Charger head coach.
That's correct.
It is. Okay. Yeah. All right. I did get that one. So I don't know if Bill Callahan's sticking around. Probably not. But Brian Callahan, his son, definitely gone. Raider Jim, your thoughts on that? And then, look, this is not happening in a vacuum. We know there are going to be other teams in the next few weeks that are going to be making similar changes. If you have any thoughts on who could be next on the chopping block.
Yeah, I agree with you. You never want to celebrate somebody losing their job, but it's at the same time, payroll, the buyouts, the paid through 29 or until 29. My goodness, that's a heck of a severance package. So I can't be that broken up or irritated by it. And just a bad team, terrible team. And what does it tell you about the Raiders, who could only put up 20 on them? That too is a statement. But Pete Carroll will not be on the list of people getting fired. But I'll tell you what, he needs to get his game going. Who will be fired next, or who's on the list? Aaron Glenn's definitely on the list. Mike McDaniel's on the list, if you ask me. Kevin Stefanski, and let's round out the group with Kellen Moore. That's my choices for who's going to be going.
I'll add one more to that. I didn't have Kellen Moore on there. Maybe that's my own biases. I bought into the doom and gloom. I mean, look, they're 1-5 and they're not a very good football team, but I was being told they were going to be the worst football team that we've seen in a very long time. And they're not there. They're not even the worst team in the league right now. I'll add one more to that. And I don't really think this should happen, but Zac Taylor, the Cincinnati Bengals, again, I think we all know why. It's not as simple as, the team isn't very good. It's just unfortunate because it seems like Zac Taylor hasn't been given, the opportunity, because it seems like every time we hit week 4 or 5, we're wondering, was it Jake Browning or now is it Joe Flacco? But I agree with you. I think for me, Mike McDaniel is at the top of that list. Aaron Glenn, I think you could get Bill Belichick in his prime, and I still think he's only getting 5 or 6 wins out of this Jets team. They are atrocious. They are a hard watch. If Britain had an army that was close to ours, they might invade us just because we sent the Jets to them last week. But I think Mike McDaniel is the number 1. And I think we've seen it really even in the offseason. There were probably some questions last season. Is he going to stick around? His press conferences are odd. Some of the quotes he's had sound a little closer to Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, if you're catching my drift without me laying it out there. And overall, I just think the Miami Dolphins are a dysfunctional franchise. Again, the Zac Taylors, the Aaron Glenns, the Kellen Moores, for the most part, it's a bad football team. I don't think the Dolphins are a terrible football team. They're just a team that lacks function, or there lacks
leadership and management. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And even with Tua coming to the podium and saying we need a leader, blah, blah, blah. You're the leader, Tua. You're the guy that you're the highest paid player on the team, and you're the quarterback. You need to be the one leading those things. It's all bad in Miami. They almost got the job done against a very beaten up Charger team, but Ladd McConkey, man, makes one or two jukes within 20 seconds before that game ends. They end up getting in field goal range. I think it's going to be Mike McDaniel. And then I guess the next question would be, of all the guys who are going to get fired, who gets another shot? Because generally we see a head coach gets fired and then they go back to the coordinator ranks. And, we've seen it with Brian Flores or some of these other offensive or defensive minds. Who's going to give them a shot down the line? I don't know if Mike McDaniel's ever going to get another shot at head coaching. So, and even Aaron Glenn, I don't know, but Aaron Glenn, you can sit there and be like, well, he knew what he was signing up for, but still, there were a lot bigger problems that the head coach. I think the Dolphins need to make a change as soon as possible. And again, you don't want to celebrate anybody getting fired. But even, to the college game, James Franklin getting fired. He's got a $50 million buyout. That is we all would love to be told by our employer, hey, we don't think you should work here anymore. Here's $50 million. As Ed Orgeron said when he left LSU. Cool. Where's the exit? Yeah, awesome. Sounds good to me. All right, I'll see y'all on the beach. So unfortunate, but it is a part of the game.